Endorse yet?
Sure. We'll just go right there again. Christian McCaffrey, I'm sure you've heard about it by now.
Yeah.
You've made a decision. I mean, does that make you pause and think about, whether you should play or not?
No. I'm cherishing this last moment that I have with this team because we all been through a lot over this past couple of years, and especially this season. So, me personally, I wouldn't pass up the opportunity to play one of those one last time.
The fact that he's not going to be playing, defending them, how does that change things?
It doesn't change it a lot. I mean, he is an electric player, but the guy they have behind him, he's just as electric, and he's actually from this area, if I'm not mistaken. So it'll be kind of cool to prepare for him as well.
He may be pretty motivated to play against you guys.
Exactly.
He actually picked Stanford over Carolina. Those were his final two schools a couple of years ago.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure he'll be hyped to play us, and we'll be excited to see him as well.
Now, how much of a relief is it? You see guys like Elijah and MJ and Mitch going through this process where they're kind of feeling things out about the draft. You've made your decision. Is it a relief to have made it and to go forward knowing?
Yeah, it's definitely a big weight off my shoulders, just because now I can just go with everything that we have, and everything's kind of in the schedule about what I have next. So not having that decision to be made yet, it's just a weight off my shoulder because I'm in.
Has Mitch, have you guys had a conversation where you just maybe pick your brain a little bit about, not about what he should do, but about what you did in terms of coming to that decision?
I mean, we sat down and we discussed things like what to consider, who to consider, projections and all that kind of stuff. But his situation is completely different from mine. He has a lot of talk about being the first top 10 pick and all that kind of stuff. I'm not necessarily in that category, so I think he has a lot of different things to think about a little bit more so than me.
How much did the concussions and what you dealt with in high school play into your decision?
Not a lot because, man, it's football. I mean, people are gonna get hurt. You can't really control it. You just kind of got to deal with it. But I don't really pay attention to stuff like that.
So what was the determining factor to?
It was really more a decision for my family because I think my family's been through a lot lately, and it'll be a good transition for them to be able to help them out and get my mom out the projects and things like that. Different things that I've been wanting to do for her and my little sister since I started playing ball. So now that I have this opportunity, I can't let it go.
Do you know what your post bowl game schedule is going to be? The end of, I guess, throughout January and before combine.
Yeah, well, I don't know a lot of it, but I know pretty much. Excuse me. We'll come back here. I'll sign with an agent, and then pretty much 2 or 3 days later, I'll be off to a train somewhere, which that location hasn't been decided yet.
Have you been approached by like the Senior Bowl East-West game, one of those all-star games to get into that?
No, I haven't. I'm not sure. I didn't know if I was even eligible.
That's right. Yeah, I guess.
Kind of
Yeah.
Because I have a 5th year and all that kind of stuff. So yeah.
What feedback have you gotten from people at the NFL that kind of telling you maybe where you might go and how you're kind of projecting?
Well, it's really kind of a toss-up because I've heard a lot of different things. I've heard rounds 3 to 5. I've heard earlier. I've heard later. So it's kind of we really won't know until we know. And that's kind of the thing that's kind of sucky about it. You wish you kind of know exactly where you would go, so the decision could be easier. But from what I've heard from scouts and stuff, they love my versatility and the way I run and play the game, and those are all things that I pride myself in. So I'm glad that they like those kind of things.
With character and people skills, which you clearly have, all those kind of things being factors as well. Do you think you can enhance your stock once the bowl game comes and goes and you start speaking with teams and doing some of the interview process?
Yeah, I'm definitely hoping to skip a couple guys in the draft boards when it comes to interview time, combine time, and all those different things like that because, people don't really know you. They just know from what they see on film. So I think a lot of scouts and teams will get a better feel from me when they see me in person.
You talked about the process as far as coming back and signing with the agent after the bowl game and how much you want to play in that bowl game, one last college game for you. How much of a challenge is it for you now that you announced that you will make yourself eligible to be in that draft to still stay away from kind of like those sharpie waters where agents might be coming at you left and right or whatever and cost you that last game of eligibility? How much of a challenge is it once you announce that you are eligible?
It's a little bit of a challenge, but it's all about not tripping at the finish line. I've done nothing but good things for my 4 years here, so waiting another week or two, to talk to a guy or to you know, talk about endorsements and stuff, it won't kill me just to wait a couple more weeks. So it's been a long process, but you know, it's not over just yet.
Have those kind of guys approached you in the interim?
Some people, you know, try to get into the agent process and you know, ask me things like that. But you know, our policy here is set in stone. So anytime I get a message like that, I always send them to Paul Pogge, and everybody on the teams to know. Anytime an agent contacts you, to send them to Paul. So I just kind of been going with that protocol and you know, trying not to trip at the finish line before I get out of it.
I asked Coach Fedor about the chemistry, and he said, you know, I asked him, you know, when y'all went to the Quick Lane Bowl, and when you came out, pretty toxic environment. What was it about the chemistry fix after that? He says y'all are not going into this game where if you lose it, it's going to be a bad situation for the team.
I think it's just everybody wanting to do well and everybody want to finish strong and finish 1-0 because we've had a rocky year and you know, playing in this game wasn't necessarily a goal of ours. We had bigger aspirations. So, as a matter of fact, just finishing this game on a positive note, this season on a positive note is the biggest goal of them all.
On a side note, I see you're still sporting the ball book
I
there.
like it. I like it. I'm keeping it. My mom is not a big fan of it, but she'll be all right.
Is Freeman Jones still the guy? Or
No, I actually learned to do it myself. Actually, I've asked every ball head man I've seen walk through here about, you know, what he does and all these different kind of things. And it's just been a fun process, but I think I like it and I'll probably go.
How often do you?
Maybe every 2 or 3 days. Wow. You know, my hair grows pretty fast. Daryl, our video guy, he only does it once a week, and he's my favorite bald head person, so I had to ask him.
Was there an adjustment getting used to the helmet being on with the bald head?
No, because I didn't have a lot of hair from the get go, so it wasn't really a lot of changing or anything. I put a little air in it, but that's about it.
Girls like it? Girls like it?
I've had some positive feedback from the females, but it's more about me being comfortable more than, you know, attracting feedback.
Makes it easier to get out of the house in the morning.
It does. It is very quick. You don't have to worry about anything. You just throw your clothes on and go. I love it.
Every week when a former Tar Heel in the NFL has a bye, they're back on the sideline because they invest in the program. Do you anticipate being a guy like that?
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, I was a fan of this university before I was even here, so you can definitely plan on seeing me at football games, basketball games, whatever the case may be, you know, whenever I have a chance to get back to support these guys.
And it's your last game, but how are you personally invested in seeing this program win against Stanford and then build into the future? Yeah, we have to. That's the only goal for this team right now is to finish 1-0. So to finish this year on a good note and get ready to prepare for the next season, that's all I'm really worried about. You know, I know the guys will take care of the team. We have some good leaders that's going to still be here, so that's the least of my worries.
So, you know,
how would you grade the defensive effort this year in terms of what you do good, what needs to grow, what needs to get better in this program?
We definitely can do better with execution and tackling. We've made strides all year, and we had a really good part of the year where we were playing really well, and we just kind of got away from that. And you know, we were ascending defense, doing good, but now it's kind of get back to those basics because I think we kind of got away from that, and you know, that's kind of how you see, you know, us lose 2 rivalry games like that.
You know, for you to still talk about, you know, coming back to the team after you go pro and all that kind of stuff, that sounds like even though you made your decision, that the coaches had to sort of say, well, he's a has-been, he's not with us anymore.
No.
That it's still love.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, it's no hard feelings with anybody. Everybody knows this is a business from their standpoint to our standpoint once you come of age and, you know, you get in that process. So, yeah, it was definitely no hard feelings. Everybody is absolutely proud of me, excited for me, and all the things that I could do in the league. So, yeah, I've had no negativity about it.
When did you make that decision?
I want to say like the day before I tweeted. I think it was last Thursday, and I tweeted it on Friday. My mom was down here for a couple of days, and we sat down and we had meetings with all the agents and stuff like that, and just me and her just sitting down talking. And you know, I think we came to the right decision.
You had that tweet the week before about passing the chain to Jeremiah.
Yeah, and I think that was very premature, and you know, I needed some more time to think about it because I didn't necessarily realize how big of a decision it was until, you know, I sat down with my mom and, you know, I realized that I'm about to be in the real world. No more scholarship and free meals and things like that. So it was a bigger decision than I thought for.
Speaking of Jeremiah, theoretically passing the chain along to him, is he ready to kind of become the next you, so to speak?
I think so. He definitely still has a lot of work to do, but I think with the right mindset and the right summer workout plan with Lou and everything like that, I think he'll be, prime and ready when the season starts next year to be able to lead this defensive line and this defensive group as well.
Bobby and Kevin's not here. That's probably good.
Thanks, Naz.
Thanks.
Good.
Appreciate it.
All right, thank you guys.
Good luck to you, Naz.
Thank you.